Before you start calibrating your system, check that you're using a micrometer ruler that has the same units of measure as those you're working with in the software. Make sure your camera is aligned. And finally, make sure the micrometer is aligned with your stage. If you have a Climax micrometer, you have the choice of using the ruler or the concentric rectangles to calibrate your system. If you're using the ruler, you have to count the number of lines while calibrating and enter the width, for example in microns. Always use the maximum number of lines. The more lines you use, the more accurate your calibration will be. If you're using the concentric rectangles, simply enter the value which appears on the edge of the rectangle. In order to measure anything in your image, you have to calibrate the system so it knows the value of a pixel. You can use either the ruler or the concentric rectangles on the Climax micrometer. Today, we'll be using rectangles to calibrate our system. Go to the Setup menu and select Video Input Calibration. Okay, we're working on 200x, so I'll select that and click on Edit. Please make sure the correct objective is selected on your microscope. A red caliper will appear in the image window. Drag the caliper across to the left edge of the biggest rectangle that fits in the image window. Align the left leg of the caliper with the left edge of the rectangle. Stretch the caliper all the way across the rectangle. Align the right leg of the caliper with the inside of the right rectangle line. By doing this, we're excluding the thickness of the rectangle lines when calibrating. And finally, in the caliper width field, type in the value that appears on the rectangle you used, 200 microns in this case. If your objective doesn't appear in the list, you can add it by clicking on the Add button and entering the magnification. Okay, let's now calibrate 100x. Click on Edit. Drag the caliper across to the left edge of the biggest rectangle. Align the left leg of the caliper with the left edge of the rectangle. Stretch the caliper all the way across the rectangle and align its right leg with the inside of the right rectangle line. Type in the value of the rectangle, 500 microns in this case, and click on OK. Calibrate all your other objectives, close the Video Input Calibration box, and you're done.